Hello guys, in this lecture, Mohnish will discuss 1. Why owner's earnings is more important than Capex. 2. Why the best businesses have low Capex. 3. Why you should only look at companies which have at least 3x potential. 4. Why all your investment should have at least 5x potential in 5 years. And 5. Why you should read the book about Jim Simons, the man who solved the market. Enjoy this amazing lecture. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already.
One of the things that I struggle with is companies that have good earnings, but they have poor free cash flow because they have high capex. Do you like that scenario? Because I can see people liking it because they probably reinvesting their capital well. But to me, it seems like I like free cash flow.
What's the name of the company you talked about?
Icron.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you mentioned a company, but then you.
Icron's the one.
No. So I think what you want to look at, owner earnings. Okay, you want to look at the cash the business generates that can be distributed to owners. Okay, after capex and after everything. And if Micron's on your mind, then at least for me, you have to wait some time. We can't discuss it today, but I would say that if I'm looking at a company like Micron, and capex is not a deal killer, but I definitely want to see what the owner earnings are after capex. I mean, just because the business is high. So I agree with you. The best business are the ones that have no capex needs. MasterCard, or Amazon. I mean, these are great, or Google, whatever. These are great businesses. But you can do really well even in businesses where the capex needs are significant. I mean, the extreme case is I hate the auto business because of the capex. But even a crappy business like autos, even with, I'm not even talking about Ferrari, the mass market autos. I mean, even if I take out Ferrari, Fiat still gave me a 4x in 7 years with all the capex and with everything else going on, right? So it wasn't a bad investment, and I think that the memory players, they do have high capex, but they also have high owner earnings. You definitely want to look at the owner earnings. You definitely want to look at it after capex. And like I said, if you take the stance that I have a friend of mine in Singapore who probably wants to go unnamed, the guy won't buy any business which has capex. Period. For him, what is very important is the incremental widget that they put out doesn't need any capex. So he likes the Amazons, he likes the Apples, he likes the Googles, and he's done really well. So you can have a framework which says, I don't want to look at high capex businesses, and you can have a very comfortable life.
How much of your day is spent reading, and how much of that reading is based on companies that you own in your portfolio versus new opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at all the portfolio businesses, at least quarterly, because I at least look at their updates and stuff. And so one of the things about investing is that real change in businesses happens over years. It's not weeks or months, so it's really the timelines are a lot longer. And so you have to really have an understanding that, it takes a while. And the new companies that show up, I mean, I get a decent flow of write-ups from people and such, and I look at them, but a lot of them are the stock's at 13 and they think it should be at 17. When I see that, I'm done. Because I'm saying, okay, if the guy who's bullish on the company can't see a 3x or 5x on the position, then what's the point? So don't send me stuff, it's at 13 and it's worth 18, please. At least it's 13 and worth 50. Someone's got to pay for, the shirt and the library and all that. And the 13 to 18 just won't get me there. We need some more meat on the bone. So, I look at those, sometimes, they're in industries where I just know I don't want to go there. I think that today, I think someone had sent me some natural gas play where the most bullish scenario was about a 80x return. I didn't spend much time on it. Between us girls, it just looked like those, that's a lot of that directional bet is on prices and all of that. So it was not, nothing was coming up from that made it obvious that I ought to drop everything and go all in on this. So I think you have to make judgment calls where you see something and you say, okay, let me spend 10 minutes on it. And after 10 minutes, you say, do I want to spend 30 minutes more on it? And after 30 minutes, do I want to spend 2 more hours on it? And you just keep making a call at each point.
Curious. So you said you're willing to, you want to look for something that's going to give you a 3 to 5x return. How long are you willing to wait generally to achieve and realize that return?
Yeah, so 5x in 5 years is very nice. Even a 5x in 10 years, there's no problems with that. So so we can get those types of numbers. We're in good shape.
Mohnish, are there any great recent reads that you've enjoyed? I know you read very widely.
Yeah, I think that one is that the book that just came out on Jim Simons, the Renaissance guy. What's the? I think the name is. Here's the cover of it, the dust jacket, the man who solved the market. Yeah, so I just started reading it, but the author, Greg Zuckerman, he's just a really good writer, and he does very thorough research. So he wrote a bunch of good books in the past. So I haven't finished it. I'm probably 20-30 pages into it, but it is already captivating. So I think that's a good read. There's another book that I just ran into recently, which is called More from Less. It's a guy named John McAfee, and he wanders a bit. I think chapter 5 and chapter 7 has a lot of the essence of that book, but that book actually forced me to reset some thinking. So actually one of the things that we don't realize, and I think many of you might be too young to realize that, but if you go back about 20 years and you think about all the things that we had in our life as kind of individual devices is all gone into the iPhone. So for example, we used to buy cameras, right? Most of us don't buy cameras anymore. And we used to have like music systems and different nuances of music, and that's gone away. And we used to print everything. Like I used to print the maps and all that, and that's gone away. So a lot of physical devices that we had are all basically gone. Basically, atoms got converted into bits, and a lot of atoms got converted into bits, and we are seeing a lot of efficiencies come out in terms of usage of resources. So we are getting a lot of GDP growth without a proportional use of resources that we had in the past. A lot of it is because of the efficiencies, not just with the iPhone, but the efficiencies that have come about in manufacturing and in different industries and such. And so the book actually takes just a longer term view to show you that, and I think it's just a good kind of food for thought.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe if you haven't done it already.